Broncos country year. Broncos have had a week off, and now they're taking this week to prepare for their first divisional game since 2015 as they welcome the Buffalo Bills. Let's talk about what they need to prepare for this big playoff game right around the corner. All that and more starting right about now. Well, welcome in, everybody. A fantastic Wednesday evening. It's hump day, as my good friend Mr. David Slade used to say every Wednesday episode that I had with him. But this is the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name is Keith Brugman. I got my good, trusty friend, Mr. Jody, the Judge Moncrief, right next to me, man. I can't wait to just start talking some more Broncos football in this epic season that we've had already. We've kind of recapped just how amazing the season is. I still don't think we give this Broncos team enough credit. One person I want to give credit to, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. He's doing a little producing in the background, going to help us out with all those comments that you guys tend to drop in. But welcome to the show, Jody. Man, what a fantastic week. And you're on a podcast tear, my friend, just on last night.
What's up, everyone? Excited for Saturday. This is what we all been waiting for. I hate the time slot for personal reasons, but I'll make it work and go Broncos. This is, like I said, this is what we've all been waiting for, and we've wanted Buffalo for 365 days. So bring it.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely, man. We have been waiting for this. This is the rematch that I did call and did say that I wanted to see. I can't wait for this Saturday. We worked so hard for it. We've got back to this point, and we got to the point that we got Pearl in here right off the bat, saying hello to us all, and Mr. Michael Ronquillo coming in here saying good evening, Keith and Jody and Gobo Broncos. My guess is might be a little bit of stars in here, but you can mention that in the private chat, Kenny, or you can mention it in the comments or whatever you want to do. But Mr. Michael Ronquillo, my guess is coming in with some stars. Really appreciate that and helping us out with the stars.
That is with 100 stars, Keith.
All right, my friend. All right. Add himself to the screen for just a second. 100 stars, Mr. Michael Ronquillo. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to go back to Pearl and just say again, hello to you, Pearl. So good to see you. Appreciate you coming in here, supporting the show like you always do. Big sponsor for us, too. We'll be talking about that here in just a little bit. Yeah, clap it up, man. Clap it up. Dobbins practiced today. Well, he was on the side field from what I heard. I was doing some reporting there. And what, Dobbins practice? And hello, says Paul.
Yeah, again, I think him and Kroll were on the side field is what I heard.
That's what I had. It's kind of funny. Names I wasn't expecting to even mention. Also, Drew Sanders, limited practice.
Drew Sanders,
yeah. But side field. No, I'm sorry. Luke Wattenberg, Brandon Jones, J.K. Dobbins. That was your side field practice participants. Luke Wattenberg, Brandon Jones, J.K. Dobbins. Oh, my goodness.
I can't see Jones coming back this year just because he had surgery. That's the one guy, but the other ones, it doesn't really matter if you don't win this game, but the other ones, because you can only activate 2, so I'm going to be interested to see what they do.
Yeah, we can talk about that more here in a little bit. Kenny, if you throw a big comment up on the screen like that, just leave it up, my friend, until I read it all. And there it is, just like that. Bo Nix isn't ready. He's going to choke. His passes are going to be off. They're going to blitz him, and he's not going to have no time. They're just not fit to go up against that defense. Y'all can't act as if they don't have no defense, but they do. Didn't get to this point for no reason. Defense wins games. All the problems that haven't been exposed will be exposed. Bo Nix will not be able to have a functioning unit. It's going to be stopped in the tracks. Y'all see through your shenanigans and more. Samuel, my guess is, and we want all fans in here. My guess is Sheriff Buffalo. Yes, we welcome them in there. By the way, we do a pregame show right before the game. It's going to be at 1:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then right after the game, we do a post-game show. Samuel, I expect you in here as well. We're going to break it all down, man. We're going to talk about
even if Buffalo loses.
Team. Even if Buffalo loses, even if Buffalo wins, even if the Broncos lose, even if the Broncos win.
Let me rephrase that. When Buffalo loses.
Yeah. Already getting a little bit of smack talk, seeing if we're going to maybe get them all roused up and be riled up to come in here. I'm going to be jumping on the tables when we beat the Bills DB 4 303. I like that, man. DB 4 Life 303. What a nice my friend, and an awesome picture. Grill them Bills, man. You need to get on the smoke show over on the Juice, my friend. Is that Nick's Right Burners account? No, I don't think Samuel's the Nick Wright burner account, but we'll find out. We're gonna talk about this, man. This is a matchup. This is a bad matchup that was a big one last year. And it's going to be a big one this year. Throw that comment back up, Kenny, if you don't mind. I wanted to read that one as well. Paul's coming in and saying, Bills fake mafia is coming out of the cracks. I handle the trolls. There you go, Paul. Thanks for having our back, my friend. But I think we're good. Let's talk about, man, these injuries. And thanks, Posse, for coming in here, supporting the show. And, man, just racking up the comments already. The Bills, Samuel, if you're still out there, man, you've got to have some concerns about this injury report and this team that they've racked up the injuries. Out is Tyrell Shavers. Out is Gabe Davis. Out is Jordan Poyer. Did not practice. Cornerbacks Maxwell Harrison with an ankle. Running back Ty Johnson did not practice with an ankle. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. Obviously, you guys lost Josh Palmer, wide receiver. He's on IR. You're going to be looking at some Keon Coleman, some Damar Hamlin. And then on top of that, limited practice participants, Shaq Thompson, Matt Milano, Dalton Kincaid, AJ Espinoza, and Terrell Bernard. Ed Oliver also limited practice as he's working his way back. The Bills are banged up, my friend. Curtis Samuel, like I said, he's going to be coming back to help a little bit. But what are your thoughts on the week off that we had versus the Bills week that they had as they went up against a tough opponent, put it all out there, put it all on the line, got the win, but kind of paid the price, man, as even Josh Allen got banged around. He had 3 injuries listed earlier in the week. Was a full participant, though, as of today.
I will say the Bills, they did get the short end of the stick. I hate the way the NFL schedules this thing. I mean, it's in our favor, but I still don't like it. There's no reason that they should only be getting 6 days rest come playoff time, but whatever. It's in our favor, and I'll take it. They are beat up, but I still think this comes down to, 2 things. Can you stop the Bills' run? And how do you do against their tight ends? Because if you go look at numbers, besides really Shakir, they don't throw to their wide receivers a lot. It's Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. So
Dalton Knox, yeah.
Or Dalton Knox. Those are the guys you need to prepare for. That's really what it comes down to for me. If you can contain the run, like Jacksonville did, I think they only gave up between
46
Allen
yards.
But yeah, between Allen and Cooks, something like 60 yards. I'll chalk that up as if you give me that option right now, I'll take that all day. So, because I like our secondary, it's going to be interesting to see how do they call Riley Moss in this game? Are they going to let him play, or are they going to start off with ticky tack calls? Because that can, set the tone of this game early.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Jody, but the refereeing crew that we have for us, at least head referee, second most penalty calls on average per game.
And I thought I heard.
I guess we're expecting to see a little bit of a slower game as the yellow flags may fall or fly. Your comment real quick, and then I'm going to get to Glenn's. It's on the screen. Keep it up, my friend.
I thought I heard something that he's coached or ref the third most amount of home team playoff wins in the playoffs. So
that is also true. Yes.
So I guess that's a positive thing. But whatever. I mean, we've had penalties all year and overcome them. So I just hope that they're not the garbage one like on Riley Moss in the Packers game. If he commits one, so be it. But I don't want something tacky like that, especially on a third down when you've stopped them to keep drives alive. That is really what's going to, that'll change this game. And I hope the refs can stay out of it.
I hope so too. Another statistic I saw is he's also called some of the most favorable games towards the Buffalo Bills as far as their winning percentage. But Glenn's coming in here, says, good afternoon, Keith and Jody. Really looking forward to the game on Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. for me. I really looking forward to extracting revenge on the Bills. Sacks, pressures, and good coverage on Ds. No drops, good use of the run game, and run up the scoreboard. He's already getting his first prediction out there, one of the first ones we've seen tonight. Glenn's coming in, and thank you, Glenn, coming in on Facebook saying Broncos 32, the Bills 13. He's expecting something pretty big there for the Broncos as far as offense and defense. We got to talk about this, man. Well, I'll flip over to the Broncos. I kind of mentioned it. Limited practice. We have Dre Greenlaw, Lucas Kroll, Drew Sanders. Expectations are Drew Sanders is back, man. Or not Drew Sanders, but Dre Greenlaw is back. Sorry, read that backwards. Yes, pros out there praying for no drops in this game. We can't have things like that. We'll break that a little bit more, but just getting through the injury portion, how big of an addition do you think Dre Greenlaw is going to be, and how good do you think he can be as he hits the field after being off the field for quite some time?
I think it's huge. I've said it before. Greenlaw and Hufanga were the first two guys that they went and got free agency, went and got them quick. These are down. I say downhill. What do I know about downhill tackling? These are two guys that, hit you and, were brought here for the run. Buffalo dominated Denver in the run game, and they bullied Denver around, and and you could see that those were addressed right away. You're going to have Singleton, you're going to have Greenlaw, two new linebackers in there, a new safety in Hufanga. And then you got PJ Locke, who, he gave up a couple big plays in that Buffalo game last year. He's got some stuff on his mind. I think the back surgery helped him. He said he's playing better. So, but back to Greenlaw, I think it's huge for me. This is why he was brought here. He's got playoff experience, and he's a thumper, and I kind of expect Buffalo to try to assert their will running the football.
I think he's a thumper, though, too. And the reason I'm excited to see him out on the field is not because he's that downhill tackling that we all want to talk about, or that he's a thumper, but the fact that he's calculated, man. He can diagnose, and I think that's why he gets himself into position to be that type of thumper. You know what I mean? He can see the play kind of play out in front of him so that he can be in position to make those plays. And that's what we need from Dre Greenlaw. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Adam and Kayla says, good evening, family. Let's go Broncos. Coldest game of the season. If you guys want to let me know how cold it's supposed to be, I didn't even look into it yet.
I was making dinner, and I left that on a loop. I couldn't stop laughing when about downhill what do you know about downhill attacking?
Yeah.
He's been salty, like someone said in the comments there, and he's picked that guy out, and he's attacking him, and whatever you think of Sean Payton, it's a pretty funny listen. Because he's pretty witty with some of the things that he comes up with. So you guys got to go find Sean Payton's interview today.
Yep, downhill tackling. Just look at Sean Payton downhill tackling. I'm sure it'll come up first thing. That's a little funny soundbite. Maybe we'll clip that and throw that up on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, Denver Bronco Roundup Facebook pages. Maybe look for that a little bit longer. James Cook. Wait, slow down. Oh, there you go. James Cook will run out of blank if they use him.
Gas.
Gas. I'm sorry. The emojis throw me off sometimes, man. He's going to run out of gas if they run him too much. 42, 43 degrees by game time. Yeah, a little bit cooler. It's certainly a lot cooler than last game we had when it was dang near almost 70 degrees out there and in January. Let's start getting into that, man, because I think that's got to be one of the biggest keys to the game. James Cook is the key to this entire offense. You talked about it before, that we need to go in there. We need to be able to stop this run. Do you think the Denver Broncos have it in them to maybe get a repeat performance of what we saw just last week from the Jacksonville Jaguars, limit James Cook to under 50 yards within the game? Do the Denver Broncos have that ability as they welcome the Buffalo Bills to Mile High?
Yeah, for sure. They're the number 2 ranked defense against the run. And minus Brandon Jones, you're as healthy as you're going to be on defense. You've got 11 or 10 of 11 starters there. So I have full confidence. And to me, that's where this game will be run or won on both sides. Can we run? Can we stop the run? Because Josh Allen, be honest, Josh Allen's going to get some of his. That's what he does. But if James Cook, if they're doing what Denver's been doing, these 10, 15 play drives, and he's busting off 5, 6, 7 yard carries the whole way down, well, you're in for a long, long day.
Yeah, I 100% agree, man. You're absolutely right. Denver Broncos number 2 against the run this year, regular season, just 96.1 yards per game. Got him that number 2 ranking, 3.9 yards per carry. It's got to be a win for the Denver Broncos in the trenches when it comes to the defense, and getting it taken care of versus James Cook absolutely needs to be the number 1 priority. If for no other reason, I just read off all the injuries that the Buffalo Bills have, from Dalton Kincaid being a limited participant to Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman having to step up and be key participants, is like big weapons like Shakir is out for them. Even Josh Palmer, a contributor, being out for them. They got limited really, really quick, and they're a little bit banged up. They're going to have to lean on James Cook, and I think they will. I went back and I watched the Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans, and I'll tell you this, like you said, when I just did that for a couple of reasons. I really think that Houston plays a defense very similar to ours, and obviously that they are one of the top-ranked defenses. I think they're actually number 1 if you got to overall purpose yards. But number 1 defense, very comparable to the Denver Broncos defense. They got after Josh Allen in that game, Jody. But he is that quarterback that continues to get up, continues to battle, continues to fight, continues to get his. He plays to the very bitter end. We had an opportunity to get him at one point, but he plays for the opposing team at this point. It's how important is it to still get after Josh Allen, even though he's going to continue to get his as well? Because I know that's a balance when you're still trying to get that run game in check or keep it in check, which we kind of label as the top priority.
It's super important. The key is going to be one on first and second down. You have to limit them to short gains on first and second down where you force them into a passing situation where you can get after them with your run game or your rush. And you've got to be, like Sean Payton said, he hasn't been worried about the sack numbers because you've got to rush. You've got to hold your lanes and you've got to rush the right way. You can't just whatever you do, just and leave your gap open because Josh Allen will see that and he will expose you.
Yeah.
So, like a lot of people say, it's not so much about the sack; it's about pressures. That's what's more important, and that's I think what's going to be key. Because I and I've said this before. I trust our secondary. You have the best corner in football. You have a corner that's very underrated, who gets picked on a lot, and the amount of times he gets picked on, what he doesn't give up. And in my opinion, you have the best slot cornerback in football. So all those things are very much in your favor.
Got a great safety in Hufanga. You got a linebacker in Greenlaw that can be sideline to sideline and take care of those tight ends like we've been wanting for a while. And Peter Johnson thinks that we'll need it because he says they're banged up, not injured. They'll have so many chemicals injected into their bodies they won't feel the pain until Tuesday. Buffalo will be good to go. There's a lot to be said about that, Peter. Obviously, these guys go through a ton in the season. We see these guys play through injuries. Sometimes we don't even know about them. Just ask Russell Wilson. He plays injured and doesn't let anybody know about it. Sorry, couldn't resist that dig. But
Wolverine blood will allow you to do that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. A little bit of Wolverine blood. But literally, I mean, these guys, especially this time of year, they're doing everything they can to get on the field. I'm sure they'll try to put themselves in the best position to be out there and to play. But I am obviously there's a few of these guys that have been completely ruled out. Jordan Poyer, their safety, is a big piece to that defense on the back end. I mean, we all know and love the story of Damar Hamlin and what he fought through and went through to come back onto the field. If we remember a few years back and him laying on the field basically lifeless, and now he's out there still playing football for the Buffalo Bills. You know, it's they'll do just about anything to get back out there, and that's maybe a great example. But Damar Hamlin isn't the same guy as Jordan Poyer, in my opinion. You know, there's going to be opportunities there, just as an example. And when you have a guy like Shakir go down for Josh Allen, that's big. That's their Cortland Sutton going down. So he's out. He's not coming back, and he won't be injected with anything to do so. Glenn's coming in over on Facebook, says, I genuinely think we gave Greenlaw an extra rest with the hamstring awareness so he could get the necessary load into his body for the playoffs. He will give the tight ends some stink with his physicality. Yeah, you talked about it a little bit earlier, man. Greenlaw does bring a different level of intensity. What if you were going to paint a picture of what Greenlaw does differently, what we see differently with him on the field versus off the field? What does he give you that a Singleton or a Sternad or any of these other linebackers, you know, for the Denver Broncos just don't have?
When he's at his best, physicality, and he reads the hole the right way. I mean, I said it last year. I think the D-line held up all right against Buffalo's O-line and set stuff up where linebackers could flow and make tackles, and they just went to the wrong spot last year. That is something Greenlaw doesn't do. And when someone runs into him, I don't see him get ran over or pushed back. He's usually the one pushing or running someone over. So that's what he brings. Attacking downfield, that's what he does.
Yep. Just be careful. We don't need Sean Payton busting in on here. I'm going to get to Michael Ronquillo's comment, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bust off on the other side and talk about our sponsor. Sorry, I was just reading some backstage comments. Sorry, everybody, making sure I wasn't missing anything. I would put cornerback Jahdae Barron on one of the Bills tight ends. They do run a lot of double tight end set. Are you more comfortable with a Jahdae Barron like Michael Ronquillo, or would you feel a little bit better about, like you said, kind of more one of those slot guys? Jaleel McLaughlin, I know, is the guy that you really like. Do you feel good about a guy like him getting matched up if you're doing a double tight end? Obviously, maybe Greenlaw matched up on the other side if you're doing that type of, I guess, man situation.
No, I think what I would do is I would Shakir, he's mainly in the slot, and that's kind of where he likes to go if he's going to a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I would put Jaleel on him. He's the best slot
Shakir's
corner.
out, right?
No, Shakir's in. It's I can't think of the Gabe Davis is one, and someone else. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Shavers. Sorry, Shavers, not Shakir. Sorry, I misspoke earlier. You didn't even correct me.
And then I would put. I think I mentioned this earlier. Or this week, I would consider, especially with Buffalo's wide receivers banged up,
mm-hmm.
I would consider Pat Surtain on Dalton Kincaid, kind of like they do when they play the Raiders. They move him on Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
because I have enough trust in Riley Moss and Jahdae Barron and stuff that they can cover those other wide receivers. So that's something I would definitely consider. Who scares me the most on their offense, and try to negate that with Pat Surtain.
Yeah. And like you said, not a big passing offense, especially when it comes to the wide receivers. Not a big passing offense in general, but a big sponsor for us, that's Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets has specialized in Southwest jewelry, Southwest pottery, and estate gold at wholesale prices for over 35 years. You can catch them on Etsy by typing in Morgan Trinkets Co. You can also catch them over on eBay by typing in Pearl Heat. Pearl Heater is our amazing sponsor, but so you shorten it up just a little bit, type in Pearl Heat over on eBay. You can check it out, Morgan Trinkets Co. over on Etsy, or check them out live. They're going to be at the Longmont Fairgrounds in Longmont, Colorado, January 17th for the Super Duper Collector Show. I know that anybody in Longmont's probably knows all about the Super Duper Collector Show and is probably all psyched up for it. And if you're not psyched up for that, don't worry. The next weekend, January 24th, the Retro Show, also at the Longmont Fairgrounds. Morgan Trinks will be there. Just to round out January, you're not getting left out, even if you're in Loveland. The Loveland Fairgrounds, she'll be there as well for the Ultimate Garage Sale on January 31st. Check out our amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets. Huge sponsor, says Paul, and we appreciate it. Huge sponsor. Appreciate you so much, Pearl, for all that your sponsorship and support of the show. Please get out to Loveland on the 31st or out to Longmont on the 17th or the 24th to the fairgrounds and check out Morgan Trinkets. Let them know Denver Bronco Roundup sent you. I said I was going to get back to did I say I was going to get to another comment? There it was. Peter says I would have PS2 shadow Shakir all game. He would be too big of a body at the line of scrimmage for Shakir to shake if PS2 jams him. I don't think McMillan can cover Shakir all game. You also have Keon Coleman, another big guy out there that's going to be relied on. But I think, and Peter, I understand exactly where you're coming from. It is kind of a toss-up. You're only going to have a couple of guys that can really shine, in my opinion, for the Buffalo Bills, because I think they're going to really, again, be trying to pound that rock. Shakir or Dalton Kincaid is your two options, and I'd flip a coin. I think that Jody made a great point when it comes to how the Denver Broncos and Vance Joseph have utilized Patrick Surtain versus a target like Brock Bowers. And Dalton Kincaid is for all intents and purposes, kind of the Brock Bowers of the Buffalo Bills. Heavy reliance on the tight ends in what they do. Heavy reliance on the running backs as well, including the running game. Go ahead, my friend.
You know what I actually think what I would do is I would just line my guys up normal and whoever PS2 outside and put everyone normal. And then I would watch. And if you're holding your own and everything's going well, leave them where they're the most comfortable. Then if you have to move Pat Surtain inside because Kincaid is doing work on Jade or whoever's covering him, then do it. But don't adjust after. Adjust once you see a problem. Don't adjust before the problem. You dictate how things go. That's I think how I would do it. Because and I think they feel the same way. They have enough confidence in Riley Moss, Jaquan McMillan, those type of guys that it doesn't really matter. I mean, even when Pat Surtain was out those 3 games, I didn't see anyone, no number 1, go off on Riley Moss. So I'm not going to be worried about that. So you do what you do and then adjust if it's not working.
I'm going to ask you one more question, man, when it comes to this defense. We'll flip over to the offense and what this offense needs to do versus the Buffalo Bills for at least a little bit. We can go all around the place as all your comments come in. But my question is this, man. We talked a lot about Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga as well, obviously being brought in. And even Sean Payton was asked about it and being brought in because of this Buffalo Bills game that we saw about 365 days ago. About a year ago, we were playing the same Buffalo Bills team, and James Cook went wild on us, Jody. Just went off the hook, dominated the game, blew us out, and that was the end of our playoff run. Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw are 2 key pieces. A, I don't believe that's enough. So B, what else has changed to make sure and ensure that doesn't repeat this year? Anything?
There's a couple things. Alex Singleton, that's 1. He didn't play in last year's game.
True.
2, Riley Moss is healthy this year. He was coming off that injury, and I don't think he was completely healthy.
That's right. Look at the 3, big brain on Brad.
3, Jade Barron. He was not in this game last year. And although he's not seeing the field a ton when he's in there, go to the Dallas game. Vance schemed him up very well in coverage and stuff, and he played well in that game. Those are the big ones for me. Plus, I think this defense as a whole, they've got a chip on their shoulder last year. I mean, they got punched in the mouth and couldn't do anything about it and kept getting punched in the mouth. And I think that there are some guys, I mean, you got an all-pro, first-team all-pro in Zach Allen. You've got other guys on this D-line that are getting paid big-time money. You got John Franklin Myers who's looking for a contract. Go out there and, dominate and show them, hey, this is why you need to pay me. So I think that's not even in the back of their mind. That's at the front of their mind, that you're not punching me in the mouth again and then saying I'm punching you in the mouth again and then you can't do anything about it.
I think I think you're right. That taste lingers in your mouth after a loss like that.
It's just like Jacksonville last week when you watch the O-line pick Josh Allen up and carry him 5 yards and you are literally getting on a quarterback sneak driven back like 20 yards. That's, that just takes the will out of your whole team. It's like, that just motivates everyone. So I don't see that happening to this team. Will Cook maybe break a run here or there? Yeah, he's arguably the best running back in football, but I don't see him going off or I don't see that kind of game like last year.
I sure hope not, man. The guy's been relentless this year. 1,621 yards is what he ended up putting up. We talk about wanting 1,000-yard rushers. They're putting up 1,600 yards with James Cook in Buffalo. it kind of gives you an idea of just the challenge that is in front of this Denver Broncos defense as they go up against James Cook and the Buffalo Bills. This is what they do, man. They, you look at this. It's funny. I was looking at just how much they rush versus even passing. They're number 2 in rushing percentage. They rush almost 50 or a little over 56% of the time. They're rushing the ball. Passing the ball, I'm sorry, a little over 50% of the time. Passing the ball, a little just at it's almost 50-50 is what it comes down to. 51 and 49 basically is what it comes down to. That puts them number 2, man, in the league by rushing the ball about 50% of the time. It's all through James Cook, unless it happens to be Josh Allen. And we had talked about that, how we have to obviously corral him. I want to flip over to the other side, man. I know that you said we got to be able to run the ball, man. But let's face it, man, the Denver Broncos have not been known as a running team all year. Before I get to that, I want to get to this, though, man. I understand, man. We didn't get all those injuries the Buffalo Bills did by having to play last week. Is there any concern for you that rest versus rust for the Denver Broncos? I know they weren't necessarily on a tear, in the last little bit going into the playoffs. Got their wins that they needed, obviously, but weren't putting up anything that, anybody was blowing their hair back on. But is there any concern that this rest that they're getting is also creating some rust before they head into this game?
No, not for me. I think getting guys healthy was big. I mean, you had PJ Locke who went out against the Chargers. You had Garrett Bowles who went out but did come back, who had, from all reports, a legit swollen ankle. You had Alex Forsythe out. So, I mean, those 3 guys right there, Garrett Bowles arguably is the best left tackle in football. Forsythe is your backup center. I mean, what are you going to do? Play your third center who you just picked up off the street? And PJ Locke the same way. I mean, PJ Locke same way. Brandon Jones is out, so are you going to go to your third safety back there? That doesn't sound like a good plan. So, and you get Greenlaw back. I think that outweighs the. Now, had Denver been putting up 35, 40 points a game and that type of thing, that might be different, but that hadn't been happening. So what true momentum are you really stopping?
Yeah, and that's what was going to be my point. Not necessarily rust, but the fact that I think that you could just get to take what might have been vanilla, but now a lot of people are starting to point out that maybe it just wasn't clicking for the Denver Broncos. Take a week, really get yourself rested, really get yourself prepared. Get ready for the Buffalo Bills, literally get to start game planning for that the second that game is put into the books. Big advantage for the Denver Broncos, in my opinion, to maybe get on track where they weren't on track at the beginning. Peter's saying, my biggest concern is the fact that Sean Payton has been running this vanilla offense for the past couple of games, and due to the fact that I'm worried that the offense will have absolutely zero efficiency or continuity. He's exactly what we were just talking about, Peter. I appreciate the comment. Like I said, I'm almost believing now, Jody, in that now new context that I don't think it was necessarily we're saving everything. We're just trying to keep everything vanilla. We don't want to show our opponents. I think there was some pretty significant struggles that we've actually can see on tape play out in these last couple of games that I'm hoping this time off, this extra time for preparation, paired with, let's face it, some injuries and a team that's having to grind it out and take away games every chance in order to make it in the Buffalo Bills, will result in the Denver Broncos offense that will look better. Paul says, I'm a little concerned. I think the team has been resting for almost 3 weeks. The Christmas game and the Chargers, they were just sleepwalking. Kind of more to my point, Peter's on one side, Paul's on the other. Peter and Paul. Jody, thoughts around that? Vanilla offense, struggles with the offense. We kind of just talked about, we obviously didn't have much momentum, but what do you think about that narrative? Do you think the offense was actually out there struggling and they need to get on track, or do you think they were holding it back and waiting to spring it on everybody?
No, because if you dive into the numbers against Kansas City, I mean, I think we had 4 8+ minute drives. So to me, that's not struggling.
I agree with that one.
If I had to say one struggle, it's when you're getting in the red zone. You've got to score touchdowns, and you can't kick field goals. I think they were in the red zone 4 times against Kansas City and scored 2 touchdowns. That's probably not going to cut it. I think you were the same against the Chargers and you scored none. My only thing is when I say vanilla, I think he just said I'm running these amount of plays, and he didn't really care what the defense presented or anything else. He was just running them. So to me, that's a little bit different. But this all comes back full circle to Sean Payton. He can get this offense going like he did that first drive against the Chargers game if he runs the football and runs the football with the right running back. I mean, Jalil's averaging over 5 yards a carry. You watch him and you watch RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey just runs right up the back of his lineman. It's kind of like we talked about with Bo. He's got it so ingrained in his mind to not take a sack that he gets off his progressions too quick and doesn't hang in there. And I think Harvey's the same way. You can't bounce it. You can't bounce it. So he just lowers his head and up the middle he goes. Where you can see Jalil knows how to pick the hole and some different things. So he can change a lot of it by running the football and running it with the right running back.
This is what I like about this matchup the most, Jody, is statistics say that you should be running this ball and you should be getting quite a few yards when it comes to playing the Buffalo Bills. They rank near the bottom, my friend. Number 31 in yards per carry at 5.2. Number 28 in yards per game with 137.2 yards per game allowed. And when it comes, that was one other statistic I really don't need to read. I think those are 2 big statistics right there, man. Again, 5.2 yards per carry, 137.2 yards per game. My only concern is Ed Oliver's coming back for the Buffalo Bills. He's been out since week 8. He has a whole lot of mass that sits there in the middle of that line for the defense. That could be a big problem in getting this running game going, and a big reason why maybe the Buffalo Bills have allowed as much as they have, at least up through the center of this offense. Sean Payton wants Bo Nix to be more aggressive with the ball, says Mr. Michael Ronquillo. We'll talk about that and how aggressive Bo Nix will need to be as well. Your thoughts around, though, Ed Oliver in this running game? I see you had some thoughts there.
Well, I had 2 things. I said all that about RJ Harvey, but if you dive into the numbers, Buffalo gets exposed when teams run to the outside and get on the edge. So maybe this is a game where you try some tosses, some different things to get him on the edge. As much as they've been working him in the middle, let him do what he does best when he runs the football.
And I see, go ahead.
And then I was going to say with Ed Oliver, he's not going to be 100% in game shape. So use this as an advantage. Stop the 100 different shifts or personnel changes and trap Ed Oliver on the field and let him get worn out. He's not back in 100% football shape coming off of that injury. I think he had the same injury Ben Powers did. Look, Denver was rotating Ben Powers in for almost 3 games. So you trap Ed Oliver out there and you go on a 10, 11 play drive. I think that's advantage to you.
I agree, man. I mean, I looked at that Kansas City game, like you were talking about, how they had those long extended drives as a recipe to success that Sean Payton wanted to play. I think you have that ability here. The outside is good. I will say if you can get through that first line of defense, that front four, that front five that they bring, especially to the outside, but even up through the middle, there's opportunities. It's all about getting through that front line for the Buffalo Bills. They're aggressive. They're pretty good at holding their lanes. But an offensive line like ours, I think we have the ability to create some holes, and then I think you better watch out. JC Weaver, watch out for him, man. He says, hope you gentlemen are having a great night. Hope you're having a great night, JC, and great to see you in here. Jaleel McLaughlin as RB1 over running back RJ Harvey. Michael Ronquillo coming in here, breaking my heart with this comment. But he might be right, man. I'm a big RJ Harvey fan. I like what he's done, but honestly, I do like what Jaleel brings. It's not like Jaleel can't break it to the outside. Quite honestly, I think one of the best runs around the edge I saw happened last year with Jaleel McLaughlin. I thought he was dead to rights and peeled around a corner for a touchdown. Jaleel has the ability, he has the speed, and quite honestly, I think he has the hot hand and the better vision, as you were kind of alluding to, where he can get through the hole, he can bust it outside. I would be in favor of putting Jaleel McLaughlin out there over RJ Harvey, at least at this point. Pearl coming in here saying 100%. That's 100% that we need to make sure that we get over to Morgan Trinkets Co. over on Etsy. Thanks, Pearl. I appreciate you coming in here and supporting me. I'll give you a plug for that. Bo Nix, we should get on that one. We talked about the running game enough, and Michael Ronquillo came in here and said that Sean Payton wants Bo Nix to be more aggressive in a comment in here. What are your thoughts around Bo Nix in this game? Right now, I think there's a balance, especially in playoff games. You need to balance that aggressiveness with, let's face it, we got to win the turnover battle as well. I can't have Bo Nix going out there and putting the ball in bad spots and putting it in the opportunity to create turnovers for the Buffalo Bills. They'll be looking for him, in my opinion.
I think the be aggressive is hang in the pocket, hang on your reads, maybe a second and a half longer, and let those downfield plays develop. And then don't be gun shy when you have a wide receiver NFL open. Sometimes to me, other than when he wants to force it to Cortland Sutton, like on a back shoulder fade or something like that, he doesn't want to throw into the tight windows sometimes. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with it, especially if it's in a position where an interception is like a punt. Then I'm fine with it. To set some things up, because I go back to the Texans game. That is one game that whatever they've seen on film, you can expose Texans deep, and they took a lot of deep shots. But Bo still was in that bailing out of the pocket a little too early, trying to throw off balance and stuff, where if he hangs in there like he did in the Buffalo game, those first couple of big, passes, the one to Sutton over the middle, the deep pass to Franklin, he hangs in there like that, we could see some things, because they've got in Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, guys that are fast, and you got Troy Franklin who's fast and big.
I agree. I'm gonna go back to those injuries with Poyer being out, Hairston, in limited practice and not knowing where he's going to be out. Or I think it was Hairston out. That's going to be an issue. Michael Ronquillo.
And Hamlin is not good back there.
Correct. Not the same guy. Not like I said, great story. Not the same player as what you get in Poyer. Wide receiver Franklin needs a touchdown catch for the Broncos to become the first Broncos wide receiver with a touchdown catch back-to-back NFL playoff games. Wow, that's kind of wild, man. I great stats by Mr. Michael Ronquillo. Always bringing it, man. Always walking down the red carpet like a true celebrity, Mr. Michael Ronquillo. It's celebrity here on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast, and certainly the biggest posse member, one of the biggest posse members we have. I think there's opportunity, like you said, to open it up, as Michael Ronquillo kind of got us started talking about opportunities for Bo Nix. He does need to be poised. I do agree. I mean, the more you talk, when we were talking about how he doesn't like to necessarily take those opportunities at NFL, open wide receivers, unless it's Cortland Sutton outside, back shoulder fade, and the like. That just brought me back to all the kind of overthrows that we saw, especially early in his career on deep passes. He didn't want to be short on those. He didn't want to put those into a window. He wanted to make sure, if anything, it felt like he wanted to overthrow, and at least that way it wasn't in harm's way. I think that there's a big opportunity, like you said, between the progression of Bo Nix, the progression of the wide receivers around him. Let's face it, Troy Franklin's not the same guy as he was last year when he was coming into this game. He is a more legitimate wide receiver. We added in an Evan Ingram to give an additional threat. We'll see if we see more of Evan Ingram in the playoffs than maybe we've seen through the regular season. But you start adding up all the pieces and parts, and the injuries and the opportunities versus this Buffalo Bills team. I think that you can get after them. That being said, they're not the best passing defense to go up against when they're fully healthy, holding some of the top spots. When it comes to yards per game, they're number 2. When it comes to completion percentage, they're number 4. They're legitimate when it comes to their passing defense. So you're going to have to find your opportunities and take advantage of them. They're not just going to be wide open, I guess is what I'm getting at here. They're pretty tight on their side of the ball.
How much do you think Bo not taking big shots or afraid to take those shots is due to Denver being second with like 45 drop passes this year? Do you think that plays a role in it, where he's like, this could easily be tipped, or if I don't make a perfect throw, I don't have any wide receivers to go up and besides Sutton that make incredible catches that save me from not 100% accurate throw?
Maybe, but I think I would be just as worried over the middle to the outside within 15 yards as I am 35, 40 yards downfield. Like you said, I think there's more of an opportunity for just falling incomplete than tipped up, intercepted, stuff like that. I don't know. It's just tough to watch. Michael Ronquillo is saying that Bo has been working on his deep ball pass throws, and Pearl's coming and saying, my dad always said in the playoffs, teams that are hungry for the wins. I'm just going to bring, so yeah, exactly. So which team is more hungry to win this one, says Pearl. I was going to bring that right in, Pearl. What a great way to maybe kind of round out this episode. Great question, Jody. This Buffalo Bills team, Josh Allen, have been looking for an opportunity to get through the Kansas City Chiefs, to get through the Cincinnati Bengals, to get through the Baltimore Ravens, and finally get to the Super Bowl in that opportunity. They had none of them in front of them as they entered into the AFC playoffs this year. They go from the Jacksonville Jaguars to the Denver Broncos. How hungry are the Buffalo Bills? And let's face it, I started off this podcast talking about this being the first divisional game for the Denver Broncos since 2015 when we took home a Super Bowl, my friend. How hungry does Sean Payton have this Denver Broncos team? And who's hungrier?
They're both hungry with different things. You got Josh Allen, just like you said. He has none of the guys that have beat him in the playoffs in front of him. If not now, I mean, he's got a playoff full of rookie quarterbacks left, basically, or second-year quarterbacks. If not now, when? I mean, in the back of your mind, you can't think Kansas City's going to stay down, Baltimore's going to stay down, Cincinnati's going to stay down. And Sean McDermott. I mean, there are still reports if how this game turns out, he may still lose his job. So if he likes coaching in Buffalo, he's got a lot to play for him. And then you got guys like Bo Nix, who you're 14-3 and beat the Chargers by double digits, and he's getting booed at home in the final game of the season. So I think he wants to show a lot there. You have Sean Payton, who wants to give the middle finger to the NFL and say, I'm the first first head coach to ever win a Super Bowl with two different teams. So there are a lot of guys hungry. I mean, Sean Payton had 3 goals in mind this year, and 2 of them he basically scoffed at when asked about in press conferences, and it was like, don't even care about them really. We did it, on to the next.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he didn't even bring it up, or
celebrated
what he claimed, didn't even bring it up in the team meeting the next day when they won the AFC West title. I mean, if that's true what he said, that's pretty. I mean, he's pretty laser focused to be like, cool. AFC West title means nothing.
Locked in. It's just a checklist at this point, man. Okay, we checked that box, on to the next one. Yeah. Pearl, it's a great question, man. I would like to think that both these teams are ready to go and hungry as heck to get a win. If I had to, though, I would definitely put it on the Denver Broncos as being the hungrier team right now. Just because I know how tough it is, man, when you're beat up and you're banged up and you're trying to push through there and you're trying to stay hungry. The Denver Broncos are one of the healthiest teams walking into the playoffs, man, and they just got healthier. I think they're hungry and they're raring to go. Rocky Mountain Sports Network 1686. It has to be the Broncos more hungry, home field advantage and rematch from the last year, it says Kenny. You're killing me, Kenny. The Broncos, he's going. Jody, you mentioned it, man. Saturday, big events for you, man, because you have a birthday for a little girl of yours that you're going to have to go to, and a Denver Broncos game that you're going to watch. But I'm not going to let you out of here without giving us one more. And if anybody else, please, I should have called for this earlier, get your predictions in. We do go pregame right with a podcast. We're going to be at 1:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be back on Saturday. I'll give my prediction then. So you'll have to wait, and you'll have to come back, and you'll have to listen to see what I have to say. I'm going to see if Jody sticks with his prediction. If you didn't see it already, he's got a hot take out there along with his prediction up on the Denver Bronco Roundup and Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook pages, YouTube. I even put it over there on X, my friend. Jody, what's your thoughts around this game? Give me your prediction. And Posse members, please, by all means, get those predictions in as well if you're not going to be here for Saturday.
I think I said the other day, I think I said 24-20 Denver. And my bold prediction is Sean Payton flips that play card over finally and does what he shows the camera every week, where it says run it. And against his will, or whatever you want to call it, he's got enough smart guys there that are telling him, watch the film and watch the tape and tell me who's the better running back and use him.
Jaleel McLaughlin, lots of carries in this victory for Jody on this one. And you're right, man. Numbers, everything kind of tells you this is the route you should go. Let's face it, seems like we're a team that likes to control the ball as well as of lately and control the game, dictated on our own terms. Running the ball just plays into that. I saw earlier from, I believe it was Michael Ronquillo, saying that play action is big for Bo Nix. 100%, my friend. Want great play action? Get that run game going. This run game, like you said, for both sides are going to be very, very key. We'll talk about it more pregame. We'll be talking about like red zone efficiency, third down, turnovers, all of that as well. Pearl's coming in here with just a squeaker. Pearl, you're going to have me on the edge of my seat. What are you doing? 21-20 Broncos win, man. That's like a by the nose finish in the horse race. What are we talking about? Oh my goodness, Pearl. 31-28 Broncos. You guys are, Paul, over on YouTube, you're also giving me a heart attack. 23-21 Denver gets it done, says Peter Johnson on Facebook. Also not giving me any breathing room. No room on the edge of my seat. Kenny, yeah, why not? Keep me on the edge of the seat. 31-28 for the Broncos. Hot take, Archie Harvey will have a rushing, receiving, and passing touchdown in this game, says Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. It looks like it's going to be a tight game according to all of the posse members. But like I said, you're going to have to wait until Saturday until you get my prediction. I'm going to run through it really quick, everything that we have going on. We have the Juice, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You're watching the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast, 8 p.m. Wednesday, Mountain Standard Time. We come back pregame. We're going to be at 1 o'clock this Saturday, kicking off our pregame show, divisional round versus the Buffalo Bills. We go postgame on also right after the game. That is right after the game. Get your reaction, the whole 9 yards. I was getting thrown off because typically we usually have a Saturday podcast, but I don't think we're going to be doing a Saturday podcast this week around because we'll be right around the game. It looks like. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll figure it out. Can't wait to see all though. But hit that pregame, 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Michael Ronquillo, maybe giving me the biggest breathing room of all. Broncos 28, Bills 24. I'm still not feeling very secure depending upon how that goes at the very end. Prater misses last second field goal. Of course, it will go down to the last second, says Keith, says Mr. Paul. I'm hoping for more breathing room, friends. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a secure victory in the bag. We'll see if that's what I predict on Saturday as we go live at 1 o'clock p.m. Jody, thank you, man, helping me break down this game. I think we have a great idea of what this Buffalo Bills team is going to bring to the table, what the Denver Broncos have up against them, and what they're going to bring. Any final words before we get out of here, my friend?
Just commit to running the football. I know I've said it a lot, but that's what you've got to do to win this game. And remember getting punched in the face last year, and don't allow that to happen. You don't have to play incredible football on offense, but you've got to be good when it counts. If you get in the red zone, you've got to score touchdowns. You cannot settle for 3. And do not let James Cook go wild on you. You control both sides of the run game. That's what you need to do. And if that happens, there's a lot of advantages Denver has. And I think between altitude, home field, crowd noise, that type of thing that is going to impact this game and all in your favor. So, and I will agree with that comment right there.
Paul's in here stirring it up as you're getting out of here, even distracted you. We could use Audric Estimate, Jody. Thanks, Horseman, also says Paul, and fun show. Thank you, says Miss Pearl. Has been an amazing show. Thank you, posse members, coming in here, rocking it all the way. Star givers, thank you so much. Walking the red carpet here on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast, being the celebrities of the show. All of you in the posse, thank you, man, for an absolutely amazing episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Don't forget, check out our amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets. Easiest way that I know, Morgan Trinkets Co. over on Etsy. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. And again, don't forget Longmont, the 17th, the 24th, out at the fairgrounds, both shows, and then back in Loveland on the 31st. Big show down there as well at the fairgrounds. Check out Morgan Trinkets if you want to catch them live. We got to get out of here like we always do, though. Remember, keep your boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and, of course, the Denver Broncos in your heart until Saturday, 1 p.m. Until we come back. Y'all take care now. Mile high salute. Have a great night, everybody.